What could the Air Force have been hiding for the last 40 years? One man who may hold the key to the mystery is Frank Kaufman. Kaufman claims that in 1947, he was a master sergeant in personnel at Roswell Army Airfield. But what was not known at the time, he said, is that he was also a covert member of a highly secret counterintelligence unit, codenamed the Nine. Tonight, Kaufman reveals for the first time what he claims is the true story of the Roswell incident.
I was assigned to Roswell in 1942. My duties at that time was somewhat classified. The events that led up to the 1947 incident is rather peculiar because there is a lot of erratic movement on the radar screen, and this called our attention that maybe we better monitor those screens. They sent some of us to Alamogordo, the White Sands, to view the blips on the screens. The blips were just dancing from one end of the screen to the other, and then all of a sudden there was kind of a flash, and it just disappeared. Well, that indicated that possibly maybe a plane or a missile or something just went down.
Kaufman says he and his team immediately drove east from Alamogordo back to Roswell, then towards a location about 35 miles south of the Foster Ranch.
And this was late at night. We started to clip some of the wire fence and drove into the area. The terrain was very rough, and there was no roads leading into it. We saw this glow of light, just this kind of a halo of a light, just kind of beaming out. We got to, I guess, maybe 200 yards, maybe 300 yards from where it was. And we learned right then and there it wasn't a plane, it wasn't a missile, it was kind of a strange-looking craft that was embedded in the arroyo. See? The size of the craft, I would say possibly maybe around 20, 25 feet in length, and it was open and kind of halfway, and one body was thrown up against the wall of the arroyo. The other one was half in and half out of the craft. And when we got in close, we noticed that there were 3 others inside the craft. Then we radioed in back to the base to have a truck, a flatbed, and a crane and everything else just come out to the site. And we prepared everything to clear everything off.
Frank Kaufman provided us with what he claims is a copy of his official report on the Roswell incident, a top-secret document containing observations and sketches of what he saw at the time.
We saw panels of controls. We couldn't make them out. They were writings. We didn't know what it. We couldn't decipher it or anything of that nature. And the underbelly of the craft had a series of cells, quartz type cells, like glass-looking cells, Arctic in shape.
This is the actual site where Kaufman says he saw the strange craft for the first time. This is an artist's impression of the aliens, based on Kaufman's own descriptions.
We noticed one thing, that deterioration was beginning to set in on one of the bodies with the hands. We noticed the heads of skin trying to shrivel up, and that's the reason why we put them in the bags real in a hurry and got them out to the base hospital. They called the mortuary here to find out if there was anything that they could preserve the bodies with.
But you are absolutely convinced that what you've told us what you saw and that is 100% accurate?
I am absolutely 101,000%. It's the truth.
The whole truth, nothing but the truth?
That's right. As Ripley would say, believe it or not.